Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So I had to exit out and restart. So I'm not really sure where I am on the map. I should be somewhere where I quick saved last, but I think I'm actually pretty far away from where I was before. Maybe, maybe not. No, because we were going to this Templar lair. And that's not too far away, is it? So, it's been another day, and one of the things to consider when I point out how much time between each playthrough, each hour of playthrough, is to just think about how a normal person would play this game versus someone like me who is just marathoning it. So there's a courtesan quest that I should do too. I should probably decide what I want to do and how I want to do it. Probably not start the courtesan quest or the thieves quest or the or any of those quests until we do the Da Vinci is Missing DLC. Find the Templar strongbox. Kill only your target. This one's called Shopaholic.
What is it, Capitano? Shh. Speak softly. I am about to make you rich. I just purchased a key from a man in the market that opens the Torre della Milizia.
How does that make me rich?
The man claims there is treasure in the topmost room. The stairs have partially collapsed. I need your help getting...
We are no longer alone.
So you will bring the ladder to my wife?
Yes, of course I will.
You are such a good friend to my family. I owe you a reward for your assistance.
I look forward to such a gift, Capitano.
So I'm fully notorious, and I'm only supposed to kill that one guy, I guess? I assume there's no collectibles? At least right now there aren't. No, there's totally collectibles. So how much of this is climbable? I have a feeling that a decent amount of it's climbable. Let's see. Now, this would be a mistake if I could just jump up like that, because that's really violating perspective quite a lot, but it worked. And there's certainly not anywhere else I can go. So, that's kind of odd that I could make that jump and then not make the other. Maybe they always wanted me to do that. There's, I was saying before, there's some weirdness with this game. He's eating an apple again.
Assassino!
So, catch the Templar.
No! We will stop it!
You will go which way did he go?
And see, so I'm chasing after this guy. Trying to run around here.
We'll get him, don't worry. I see him. Go, go!
How do I get up here? Nope, nope, nope. Come on. Let me up. I was supposed to go this way. So this is one of those chase sequences where it's supposed to be a lot faster then it's really happening. Because I exited out, I did do the affinity trick, but it wouldn't be completely surprising if the affinity trick for some reason did not work this time. Now the problem here, on top of this being a procedurally generated climbing abilities in the games, like you just can't, well they just didn't at the very least program areas where you can't climb. I have 30 seconds for this, by the way, which means that the chase was pretty much designed to
Stay away from me, assassino.
To force me into this, and if it hadn't forced me into this, then it would have I would have just had to walk into this area by default anyways. And key is acquired, so I don't even have to loot him. Of course, there was a treasure chest earlier that I missed. There's very possibly some other treasure chest later on that I missed, but whatever. Who cares? I'm not even sure they count towards anything. If they do, well, I would have to replay the memory. I'm not feeling the lagginess. I just feel like this game is kind of slow in general. The horses seem slow. The running seems slow. I'm considering changing the controlling setting, if possible, because of just the vast amount of right trigger I'm having to pull to always run. Jumping sideways, right trigger, press A, and then hold and point in the direction you want to go. And since we're climbing the inside of a building, this would be interesting if this came out as a sync location. No. That was quite the fall. That was even bigger of a fall. I have to remember what I was doing. So this time you jump sideways to get to this. Then you do this, this. Then you climb the other direction. Climb across this wall, which is a particularly long section. Then press this. And then I think you just jump here. Press A and left stick while running up a wall to jump in the desired direction. So that's what I was supposed to do, and you could just barely tell that the wall is worn there to tell you that that's what you're supposed to do. Jump this way, this way. Turns out there was something back there. Was it a Borgia flag? Or probably. And this is most definitely not a place you would want to... You would not want to fall. There's a chest right there. How much money is this really going to give me? Is the question. I feel like I'm supposed to possibly turn around and look the other direction. Or possibly jump to the side and grab the... Let's see. I'm going to jump backwards and hope I catch something. Either that... It was either going to be the windows or the Or the cloth. I've got a rough voice today. Trying to work my way through it. That's not it, though. That was just a side chest for 500. And this game needs massive amounts of money. So when you get this footing, I suppose this is where you're supposed to jump backwards and get back up here. That makes sense. And see, this is kind of obvious now. The only thing that's missing here is this is not a Romulus treasure, so I wouldn't be surprised if these Templar treasure missions I'm doing right now are from some part of DLC also, and they weren't originally here. They don't seem like they would be originally in the game, or if they were, they don't seem like they would have a great reason to be in the game. And see, we've never seen a chest like that with a Templar lock. Is this just a massive amount of money, or is it... Yes, 4,000 florins. No weapon or anything like that, which would probably have been more useful. But the money is exactly kind of what we needed, wasn't it? Of course, he can't be crawling out of a sewer grate for this. Instead, he's coming out of one of these doors, which these doors being everywhere makes some usefulness there. But there's no leap of faith or anything. I guess there is one there. And where are we on the map? We can't buy this. We might as well do this, even though I'd said not to do these. There's kind of reasons, I guess. Let's do it. Let's work our way up to this viewpoint in this Borgia Tower. Maybe we can get that done. If we find anything to buy, we can try to work on that. Here's a guy that needs to be knocked down. There's a Borgia guard. I'm on high notoriety. I don't even know why. Well, high notoriety now lowered. You'd think killing somebody would increase your notoriety, not lower it. Let's see what this does over here. It's worth mentioning that the random fatter characters don't seem to be the beggars ever. They probably hard programmed them intentionally to say, look, if they're beggars, they need to be skinny so they look like they're starving.
Buongiorno, Ezio. We are taught to seduce Roma's most powerful men, but not all of us have been able to resist their charms. Follow Giulietta. I suspect she will lead you to her benefactor.
Okay, so we knew some of the courtesans, some of the prostitutes had fallen for the bad guys, and so we're gonna follow one of them and assassinate the bad guy. Probably from a hiding spot. So I'm not following this one though. She was just the informant. are gonna come over here and follow another one. Now, how Ezio knows each prostitute by name, I don't know.
I don't want to end like this! Just leave me in peace!
So I'm not notorious.
He's a murderer! Go to watch!
Watch yourself.
So
The camera Leonale asks all residents to please visualize
I killed the guy
whether or
right.
not the street is empty before throwing trash from their windows and shoes. The Camerlengo will be using public funds to replace his tablet.
So there's a guy in red, but probably not the person we're looking for. Target located. So we need to just follow her. Now, assassinating from a hiding place doesn't just mean assassinate from hiding. It means actually be sitting on a stool or in the hay bale or something. So we're playing a much more delicate dance than we usually do. Feels like she's getting bumped into a bunch of other characters, possibly because I killed this guy. Now, technically, I think this might be a hiding place. And notice, I'm not pushing any controls right now. This is just the system by default walks me in a similar fashion as the other group of people I'm hiding with. But missions like this are also kind of just adding slowness to things that are already too slow. Like, I understand in general the idea of having to do this when this was the only thing in Assassin's Creed 1. But now that Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is here, which is the third game they ever released, they just have so many other things to deal with that the slow, kind of not that good actions of following somebody should be very limited, if completely non-existent. And we've had, since beginning this game, a decent amount of these already. And she is rather persistent, this one. There's a lady just coughing. Oddly. She certainly doesn't want to be followed. Now, there's some breaking of logic here. If I'm walking like this, why would I be suspicious or any more suspicious than walking like this? I have only a few seconds left to catch her on my camera. There's a lot of camera manipulation that you can just do in this game too, where the timer gives you 30 seconds. Now what? Like, could I shoot him from this? With this? No. Can I shoot him from this? No. So, if I was to assassinate him from a hiding position, I would have to really get in that. I would have to just subtly walk into the well. so he's not looking at me. Work my way this way. So, do this, basically. That's kind of all you could do. And then it wants me to talk to this girl.
I did not know the Bastardo was a traitor.
You are no longer welcome at Rosa in Fiore.
And then we had a little bit of glitch in which people started showing up again. So, while not an incredibly long section of gameplay, also not an incredibly short section of gameplay, and getting that 100% sync, I think will give me more money. So I guess I shouldn't just flippantly not try for it. But also I don't want to waste in tons of energy playing sections over and over again if they're unnecessarily difficult. Alright. So, there's a Borgia captain up over here.
Well, aren't you a funny one?
So let's get up here. There's a chest over here, we might as well pick it up. I get the feeling that there's like 2 or 3 treasure maps. Is that the guy right there, or like see, there's a guard over there. And I believe there's a guard over here. And
I can't see him anymore. There he is, Yaju!
now that didn't. However, I got lucky there, and that didn't trigger the Borgia captain running, and that's my fear. Get a couple more crossbow bolts. So I think if I just work my way around here, nobody will notice me. Do a sideways jump there. That was kind of an advanced jump. Sideways jump while holding B to land on, to grab the ledge. Now we just need to trick the game into allowing me to assassinate him. See, they didn't even notice me. I'm so hidden that I was able to do the entire kill with no problem at all. At least not yet. See, now they don't even take any notice of me again. I can't jump up there, so there's only one way up this thing. Another one of those advanced sideways jumps. Much more puzzle-ish than the previous game. I feel like the first Assassin's Creed had climbing puzzles that were like this. In fact, possibly even better climbing puzzles than these, because there were fewer window styles and designs of the like. So you see a tower like this and it's full of junk all over it. Different types of windows, different types of holes in the wall. I feel like in Assassin's Creed 1 there was just kind of the same bricks with more holes and things in them. So there's a courier. Like, can I shoot this guy? Doesn't pay to be a thief around here. Particularly when I have a crossbow. Alright, let's see if we can buy anything. Repair all for 58, but I would like to see if I could get more armor, and I just doesn't seem like you can. Complete the shop's quest. I'll purchase this so we now have a heavy weapon. And I don't see any reason why I'd want to buy things that I'm not going to use. Go ahead and invest.
I suppose you only appear to.
So this is now this weapon, and man, the circle's just getting more and more full. There's one over here, and we still have a few dollars. Upgrade this bank and then take money out of the bank. That will be helpful. I need to reduce my notoriety too if I can find a place. So now I'm up to 12,000. And thought there would be a poster over here. Seems like there should be a poster somewhere around here. That's what the map seems to be telling me. Jump a little sideways this direction. Jump down here. We've hit a point, though, and we've hit it kind of early in the game, where I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? Honestly, what am I supposed to be doing, and what am I doing? I can run this way, and we can try the Da Vinci thing, and I think that's the right move. I could also try to go like to this empty faction building, start here, start down here. I guess we could do that too. Let's go this direction and then do a wide circle, trying to get to a story mission that at this rate we won't even have done in by the end of this recording in the next 30 minutes. So we need to find the store. Here it is.
can resist.
You know, there probably is a very obvious truth to this, that by smoke bombs, first of all, that will help really well. Maybe we could do the shop quest to unlock that. I don't have enough for the large medicine pouch.
Excellent choice, signore.
But now I have smoke bombs, so over here, if I have any Borgia captains that want to give me trouble, that is no longer an issue. And if I suppose if I want to increase my synchronization, I should hire thieves, militia, and courtesans as soon as I see them, even if I'm not going to do anything with them. But hire them and actually try to do something with them. I guess is the better way to play that. And it's going to be so centered around the idea of going back to the map over and over again. There's a tree that's just completely in the wrong place. Where's the sewer? Oh, it's a faction building. Never mind. And we'll just purchase more courtesans. Just make them all courtesan buildings for now, and then if we have any desire later on to not have courtesan buildings, we'll switch them around. I believe there's an achievement in one of these games for knocking over these guys with the broom and picking up their weapon, and attacking people with the weapon. There's a painting store. We might as well check this out. We already own that thing, and I kind of don't know why I would want to buy the paintings, but I'm hoping that if you buy enough of them, they will increase the amount of money you make. So we've got like 4 of these guys. If I go over there and press Y and tell them to distract, that should work fine. And then our next location is supposed to be this, but I think I may actually be on money too. So I have a 989, which should be enough to upgrade one more. We can go ahead and bribe this guy though for 500. That's a lot. It's way easier to So at 339, I'm now out of money, so I can't afford any upgrade for this store. How far off are we? We would have needed 1,700 anyways. So let's run into some bad guys so I can do this, so I can tell them to distract. And while they're distracting, I will look for this treasure chest. And unless this gives me 1,500 florins, which it almost certainly would not have, we've never seen it go much above like 800. So these trees are in the way. I think they're intentionally being pushed there as an indicator, look, you can't make any jumps this direction, don't bother. And this would be 1440. So a very consistent issue of wandering one place and not having enough money to upgrade everything and then having to come back to it. If there was a map that was designed to show where we've walked before, I suspect we would quickly find that... Is this the Colosseum? No. I wouldn't be surprised if they quickly found that you wander backwards and forwards all over the place. 7 of 10 feathers have been collected. Doesn't seem like this building has any kind of special thing on it, but it might go downward. And so do I want to get that treasure chest over there? Let's see, higher and distract. And just find where the chest is even though we can't see it. And get some more money. And let's run around this area. Check out how much this building would cost. Not that I could afford it. 28,000, and it seems like you're gonna do some major remodeling to it. And there's nothing down here. I thought maybe there would be a secret memory. There can't be that many more memories left. Honestly, it would be. There's only like 3, maybe 4. And I'm short on that money. We'll do a little bit of pickpocketing here. I probably have enough now. Can't steal much from the people. And now the people are mad at me. And so I have to be anonymous to do that anyways. And my notoriety went way up because of all that. So we've got now a chase sequence. They want me to get away. And so I can just walk by these guys as long as I'm not incredibly notorious. Why do I see all of these posters and just don't see any of them actually in the real world? They're too easily missed. So, where are we on the map now? We're right on the edge, which is just this big wall. And we'll start this memory. And who knows if my notoriety will change or remain the same at all. See, this feels like it's going to take me right out of the city into a different area completely. Which, okay. Yeah. Bellegardio, 1506. So remember, we're several years in the future, past the entire incident of the main story of the game. And we're looking for Da Vinci's painting. We saw the Mona Lisa in Da Vinci's workshop, but it was too small for the final version. Let's see. Discover the locations of the stolen villa paintings. Don't kill anyone for full synchronization.
Did you have an enjoyable ride, Duchessa?
Hardly. I raced across the grounds at breakneck speed for fear of a knife in my back.
I do not understand, Duchessa. Who is trying to kill you?
My father kept them at bay, kept me safe. Now they chase after me. They want my head.
But, Signora...
The countryside was supposed to be serene. Death follows me even here. Increase the patrols and warn me of any intruders. No one is allowed in the palazzo but my husband's private guard.
You heard the Duchessa! Sound the alarm if an intruder is spotted!
So,
Poor Alfonso.
she's...
His wife has gone mad.
She's one of the girls that... I don't know if she was even in the original game. Oh, is this guy not gonna notice me or care? I guess not. I suspect what they're doing here is attempting to I suspect they're attempting to create a situation where you don't end up killing her, or if you do end up killing her, you're doing it in a more abbreviated sense than what we will end up doing for the other bourgeois people. So maybe some gender preference there. I wouldn't really be surprised if Ezio just came out right and said he didn't want to kill women. In fact, he may have already said something along that lines. I hear that tingle of a collectible over there. What am I supposed to do here? Just... Oh, I think I see what we're supposed to do. Supposed to do this. Just... hide in the hay bales until somebody walks past, and then work my way the other direction. This is a new thing to climb on, this carriage. Yeah, I could certainly see being upset with a situation where you were a Templar or you were in a family of Templars, which it seems to be passed on almost as a heritage, that I could see how you would immediately become very paranoid that assassins are after you, since, let's face it, they kinda are. I think most assassins would kill a Templar just for being a Templar.
What is the meaning of this? I am supposed to shine the Duchessa's shoes.
No one is allowed in the palazzo.
Is she going to shine her own shoes then?
What the Duchessa does or does not do is of no concern to us.
What a life this is, let me tell you.
I would rather you did not.
I will complain to the Duke.
As long as you are stuck on that side, no one will hear you.
I have had enough.
Stay where you are.
Let me through!
You must wait until the Duchessa allows you to pass.
So, this direction. See, release left stick, hold right trigger, press A for the backwards jump. I'm getting some tutorial messages here for things we've done before, most certainly, but this is DLC, so I can't really blame it that too much. But I could also turn those off. That is a consistent issue with video games, is by default you kind of need the tutorial message, and then it's like teaching somebody to ride a bicycle. At a certain point you need to let go of the training wheels, take the training wheels off, and a lot of video games just don't even bother that. And like no prompt, nothing to say, look, you're 25% through with this game, you've seen all the skill tutorials once, let's not bother to do this anymore. So this is pretty dangerous. I guess that was probably the only way we were going to get in, is doing something like this. What's interesting here, what am I going to grab onto, is all of this is new artwork. And I don't believe I've ever seen this artwork in anything else either. So it seems slightly like they spent too much work making DLC sections and DLC elements. Let's see, can I just jump on top of this? No. So you can't just jump through the bushes. So we'll do this instead.
I am the Duca has borrowed guards from the Pope himself to watch over his palazzo.
Julius has lent Alfonso several of his guards in return for siding with the Pope against Ravenna.
We shall see how long that alliance lasts.
Well, that worked. Taking the long way around.
Come to kill me at last, assassino?
Buongiorno, Lucrezia. Or should I say, Duchessa?
A borrowed title bestowed by my husband. Ill-fitting and barely concealing the truth.
You can keep your life. I am here for the art on your walls.
Redecorating, are we?
I count 5 Leonardo da Vinci paintings you have stolen, and I want them returned.
If only it were that easy. My birthplace, my family have been taken from me. You think Ferrara loves me? I am a stranger, a castaway, an orphan. Your paintings are gone, assassino.
I do not believe you.
Frightening, is it not? To have lost so much? Perhaps we can comfort each other.
Perhaps. Where are the paintings?
Sold to Francesco Colonna. And one to someone who was special to me. Patrizio. He spends his time near Il Vaticano. I kept one for myself.
Give it to me.
Guards! Place Da Vinci's Annunciation in a cart. Leave it outside the walls.
Molto bene. Now, close your eyes.
This would be funny if he actually stabbed her.
His guards, so it is best if you hurry.
Forgive me, Duchessa.
What for?
No man can heal your pain. You must do so on your own. Say hello to the Duca for me.
Guards! Guards!
He tied her up. Yeah. I'd almost give her a knife and see if she would actually kill the Duke. Escape before time runs out? Alright. So unknowing where I'm supposed to go, I will just see if I can figure this out. I suppose he did the right thing and bought himself possibly some time. Man, those guards are slow. They give you enough time.
Perfect. Route up if I fall.
And again, we're hearing that. There's some problems with these level designs. It's very repetitive. It's either slowly stalk somebody and then kill somebody, or slowly sneak around and then kill somebody and then escape, or something, some variant of the same 3 or 4 different things. And we acquired it. That was called the one that got away. Not an extremely long mission. I thought we would get maybe halfway through the mission before I ended up having to end this recording, and I still have like 9 minutes. Let's see, there's that hanging site, which I think there's just multiple hanging sites, the way this seems to work. There's a stored memory this direction, so it wouldn't be a terrible idea to run back this way and set ourselves up for these restored memories. If we could take out this Borgia cabinet tower, that would be nice. As far as areas that are still under control, I'm not sure we can do this yet. I'm not sure we can do this yet. I'm not sure we can do this one. We can do this one, but we may not be able to do this one. And we can definitely do this one. It's just proving to be the most difficult of them all to try and pull off. So hire. We'll just spend some money. Now when I hire these courtesans, they're not reducing my notoriety any or anything like that. They're just apparently I'm increased my global investments somehow. None of the factions reduce your notoriety actually, and that seems like a mistake. There's a chest somewhere around here. Let's see, where did you go, chests? It's not over here. So it must be over here. Here it is. There's a flag. So here we are, and we should have enough to upgrade the fast travel section, which is a great investment. And these
keep them busy.
Send them off to distract this group. Alright. How are we on time? Well, I most definitely can't afford that, so let's work our way this direction. This is gonna end up just being swimming.
What on earth is he up to?
that's all this is going to end up being. So I can try to run around the edge here, which we saw some of this. Like how far down do you have to be to be in the way of that? Maps for Borgia flags and feathers are now available. So apparently that was the last percentage. That was the last one I needed to hit some kind of percentage to allow me to purchase more flags and the feathers. And we are swimming, and the only thing slower than running is swimming. In the previous game, the outer edges, because we were, I don't know if it was Venice, but we were in a city that seemed like it was close to Venice.
Lovely tight pants.
And I feel like we might be able to try to take out this captain with new weapons and such. I might be able to actually achieve this. Alright. We have him there. And there's like this guy and this guy and all of them, and let's see if we can do this. Got him. And where is the Borgia Tower now?
I see him! Hurry! Where did he?
And see, that was probably about the 4th or 5th time I think I've done this Borgia Tower, trying to kill that captain because he's such a cowardly guy.
There! I have him!
Let's pull out our heavy axe. Look how slow this is, though. And a couple of crossbow. I just lost the axe. Like, so I can pick up weapons and hold it, but I think I can only hold that one heavy style of weapon. So there might be a whole system here designed around the idea of picking up weapons from the enemies. Seriously, is there no way up on this section? Irritating. if there is another section, another city, you almost have to assume, or hope at least, that the next city has towers that are easier to climb. Even with the extra jump ability that we had in the previous game, I don't see these buildings designed in that fashion that you could speed up the climbing process at all. It seems particularly slow intentionally. Now it's just occurred to me that maybe you have to do all the Borgia towers to get the new system unlocked, and that would kind of make sense. And it would also explain why some sections simply are not available for interaction. So finally this area is free, and there's 5 more Borgia towers. The economy is, I think when you look at the key here, it's actually all the economy is pretty bad except for here and here. It's low popularity, and here is the highest popularity. So if I wanted just to invest and make as much money as possible, I should buy and invest in everything here. Of course that would be kind of boring, and then there's several buildings to run around and do. Let's come back to the inventory. We can now hold 20,000 fjorns, and as far as weapons, we have this mace, and I think I may very well have lost that weapon I purchased by throwing it. And let's see what else. Wanted to look at the DNA. We haven't made any real progress with the main story, so we're still sitting right at memory 4, and instead we're doing the Da Vinci disappearance. Secret locations. We need to find some more layers of Romulus. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Borgia towers. We haven't done any of Christina's. We've only done 1 assassin, 0 thief. Courtesan missions we've done 9%, so we know there's only about 10 or 11 of those quests at all. Guild challenges. Let's see how we've made in our progress for these things. Not really anything for the mercenaries. Not super surprising. We have done 3 groups of courtesans to distract guards, so we need to do 7 more of those, and then guards assassinated from a blind spot 1. Haven't done too much of that either. Thieves guilds, lots more leaps of faith needed. Killed guards with ranged weapons, lots more needs to be done there. See, I don't even think I'm gonna get up to rank 3 on any of these systems. It seems like there's too much work there. Viewpoints, we have 16 of 24. Borgia flags, we have 21 of 83 in Rome, which tells me that at 20 was when we got that new map. Secret locations, feathers, we still are missing a few treasures. Man, you could really get everything because it's telling you even what district they're in. Like, there's really no reason not to find everything, isn't there? Other than just saving yourself time. But when I look at the map, I'm just having a hard time getting into this game. I'm doing a ton of setup for what hopefully is some payoff later on. But I'm mostly spending my time just walking from point A to point B, and then back and forth, and then back and forth. I'm not even sure I can reach this restored memory, by the way. If I can get in there, I would be surprised. But that probably also tells me that if we can't get to this memory, we should just do like the Christina memories or the Khorasan memories, and get those done too. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.